Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for the invitation.
Our next guest is going to be Katie Menke.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, Katie.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. How are you?
You know, I'm doing well. I'm quarantined at home. I mean, I don't have symptoms, but you know, we're all at home, social distancing. So teaching via distance, 7th grade geography. So that's been very much a different format for both teachers and students.
Well, for those who don't know you, tell us kind of like we've been asking everyone. In addition to teaching, where are you today from? Like streaming from, and one or two fun things about yourself, and then we will be so glad to hear your story.
Okay. Well, I am from St. Paul, from my apartment right now. I'm a teacher in Hastings Middle School, so that's in Minnesota. Until last year, I was in Madison, Wisconsin, so that's how I know Jonathan Melton. I actually lived in the Episcopal student house last year, and so that was a great gift. But yeah, now I'm in St. Paul, and I've been living alone as an extreme introvert. I mean, an extreme extrovert has been really interesting. But recently, my boyfriend actually drove up from San Antonio. It's about a 20-hour drive through an Easter blizzard. So I'm enjoying having his company here now. But yeah, it's been an interesting wild ride. So I guess, where have I seen grace? Where have I seen God? I would say connection, which is a strange thing to say, in that I feel like a lot of my connections have kind of dried up, in that I'm not seeing people on a regular day-to-day basis, and I'm not having those same conversations and seeing the same people. But I had planned a trip to Sedona, to Arizona, for the first time for my spring break, and that was right before kind of things really started to get serious with COVID. I decided not to take the trip after all, and that was a really hard decision. And so instead of being with my boyfriend in Sedona hiking, you know, out in national parks, I was alone in my apartment for a week, not really knowing, like, what do I really want to do? What can I do? But it was really nice because I was able to use that time to reach out to close friends that I have in Spain. So I lived in Madrid for 3 years. And so there's a 7-hour time difference. And so oftentimes it's hard to actually have video chats, just because by the time I finish work, oftentimes it's pretty late for them. But because of everything that's been going on all around the world, right? People have been needing to put their life on pause, and all of a sudden there's these moments, right, where people can reconnect from our busy lives. So I was able to reconnect with like 8 really close friends in Spain that I hadn't talked to for an extended period of time, for probably over 2 years. I've been able to have video conversations with really close friends from my volunteer year in Argentina as well. I have another phone chat later this afternoon planned. And it's like opening up these opportunities for connecting with people that are really important with me. But it can be really hard for me, I feel like, to be connected to people when I'm not in the same physical space. I feel like I have a lot of loved ones scattered all around the world, and throw in time differences and the busyness of day-to-day life, it can be really hard to find those moments to really be present to each other. And so we all have time on our hands, which is great. And we have this technology, which hasn't been around for very long. So I'm kind of relishing and grateful for the connection that is happening in spite of and actually because of this slowness of life.
Thank you, Katie. I so appreciate how you shared the things that you missed and the disappointment of that. I know my own calendar was from about like March on, just like a cascade of like, well, that one hasn't canceled yet. Well, that one hasn't canceled yet. And then the last one at the end of May wiped out, and then the calendar was empty. But somehow it took Rebecca and me another like 3 weeks to figure out that meant we could do like Zoom double dates with couples across the country at 9 o'clock in the evening with a bottle of wine. And I don't know why it took so long. Part of it, I guess, is just the letting go of what we'd hoped for.
Yeah, finding the new normal and embracing it.
Yeah.
And creativity to reconnect. And yeah, I definitely think we're made for connection, and it's beautiful how I've seen people connect. So I loved hearing that.
Thank you, Katie. It's great to see you. Say hey to Jens for me.
Will do. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Grateful for this moment of connection.
Embodying your story.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.